I was just thinking about whether I'm ignorant or not. Whether or not I'm ignorant and how ignorant I am. Something happened to me a while back at work. I was in the canteen and somebody from work, just to start conversation, I suppose, came and said to me, "Oh, I hear Andrew's in more trouble." I was like, "Andrew who?" And he said, "Prince Andrew. You know, all this thing has been in the news recently, all this scandal." And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about." And he said, "Oh, well, you know, he says that he doesn't know these young girls, and yet there's pictures of him with them, and it's all looking very dodgy." And I had sort of like to explain to him, well, I don't watch television programs, I don't watch news programs, I don't really have any exposure to what's really going on in the world, because it's just kind of not all that interesting, really, to be honest. And because I'm busy with other things, I have Facebook, but I only go on there like every 2 days and skim through a load of stupid pictures of sharks and things, and then and then I switch off, and I don't really pay much attention to it. So I don't have any exposure to what's going on in the world, and people regard that as kind of ignorance, but I don't. Maybe it is, maybe me not knowing that some privileged prince in a family of people who have no interest to me is getting into trouble because of some alleged association with young people. If me not knowing about that makes me ignorant, then that's just kind of ridiculous. That means anything that anybody doesn't know about makes them ignorant. And then if ignorance is literally about not knowing things that other people know about, then surely we're all ignorant of something, and therefore the whole meaning of ignorance loses its meaning. See, there I was ignorant of the right word, that I shouldn't have used meaning to start with. That should have been the end of the sentence. There you go. Do you see my point, though? Does that make any sense at all? If I'm going to be called ignorance just because I don't know about something I don't care about, should I care? Should I care that people regard me as ignorant for that? And is it true? Is it a criticism? Does it matter? People will have other concerns, more general concerns, and those are the things that I'm worried about. Humanity, life and death, love, and all those kind of things. That's what we should really be thinking about. That's what makes us not be ignorant, is that we look in ourselves, in our souls, and to our friends, to the people who are around us, the people who actually make a difference in our lives. Not... it's like geography. I'm completely ignorant of all geography. I don't know the difference between a country and a state, and sometimes continents and countries confuse me. And it's simply because, and people look down on you for not knowing that stuff. People look at you like you're an idiot, not just ignorant, but like you're an idiot. Like if you don't know the names of countries in the world and whereabouts in the world they are, then it's a stupidity thing. But actually, from my point of view, I just don't care. I don't care what the name of some piece of land on the other side of the world that I'm never going to visit is called. What the fuck do I care what it's called? I think it's almost an insecurity thing in other people that they like to show, in order to not seem stupid, they like to show off the knowledge that they've got, and therefore, by comparison to the knowledge that other people don't have, make themselves feel superior. So anything that other people don't know is a way of bullying them and making them seem more stupid than themselves or than you are, so that you feel like you're higher and better and intelligent and more sophisticated, and not low down and small and broken and meaningless and ultimately worthless. But then, it's if knowledge is power, then the reverse must also make sense, that the ignorance is weakness. But I don't really think it is. I think it's only a weakness if you let it be a weakness. It's like, when people say you're fat and you go, "Oh yeah, no," then they'll just go, "You're fat, you're fat, you're fat," even more. Whereas if people go, "You're fat," and you go, "And," then eventually they'll get bored of pointing it out, because it won't be an issue for you. So if you just embrace your ignorance, if you can have the knowledge that ignorance isn't stupidity and that ignorance isn't weakness, then you can have the power that knowledge apparently has. And then it's a stronger power, because it comes from within you. It's a power that you create within yourself, saying, "I don't care if I'm ignorant. I don't care if I don't know the countries' names. I don't care if I don't know about Prince Andrew's scandals and things like that. I don't care. I'm proud of my ignorance. I embrace my ignorance. My ignorance is there because I'm only ignorant of things that I don't care enough about to learn them. And I'm intelligent, so I know about things that I care about. I just don't waste my time learning about things that I don't need to know. And I'm not saying knowing geographical places is stupidity or that people, it's worthless for people, because other people are interested in that. Other people travel, so it is interesting and relevant to them. It's not to me. It's just, I don't travel. I travel in my mind and in my heart and on the page. I'm a writer and a filmmaker, and I do it from home. I do it in familiar circumstances, places that I know, and with people that I understand and care about and I'm comfortable with. And that's how I excel. So I don't need to know about what's on the other side of the world, because that's it's the other side of the world to me, metaphorically and realistically. When it comes down to it, there is another thing that bothers me about ignorance, is if something bad's going on in our life, if there's like a bad person in our life, or we're being bullied by someone, or there's somebody at our workplace that we don't like or get on with, or who picks on us, or if somebody online is posting things that we object to, and yet we don't want to get drawn into the conversation, we're encouraged to ignore it. Ignore the bully, ignore the person at work that you don't get on with, ignore the people online that goad you or disagree with you. We're supposed to ignore things. We're allowed to. We're encouraged to. It's like the first piece of advice people give for when there's somebody or something in your life that is being difficult or making your life difficult. Ignore it. Ignore them. And yet. And that's meant to be like a positive response. That's meant to be a difficult, negative situation in your life. And by ignoring it, that seems to be a positive way to respond to it, because you're not reacting. You're not giving them what they need. You're not feeding them whatever reaction that they expect to get from you in order to allow them to continue to behave in that bad way. So ignoring people and things in our lives, people that we see every day and things that we have to deal with every day, is seen as being good. It's a positive thing. We should ignore those things. And we're encouraged to, and we're advised to. And yet, to be called ignorant is a negative thing. And I don't really understand why there's this double standard, I suppose, when it comes to ignorance and ignoring things. So that means if I don't know the names of all the planets in the solar system, then I'm ignorant. I will never go to those planets. The existence of those planets that have been given names by somebody or other, names that somebody made up once upon a time, has no bearing on my everyday life at all, in any way. And yet, if I don't know what they are, I'm stupid and ignorant. I'm negatively ignorant if I don't know about things that mean nothing to me. But I'm supposed to ignore things that exist in my life. I mean, think about that. That's so backwards. Basically, by criticism and encouragement, we're told to push away things that are in our lives, that are probably important and influential in our lives, and we're told to try and bring forth things in our lives that are never going to have anything to do with us. Don't ignore the planets, because that makes you stupid. But ignore the man at work who annoys you every single day, because that's good somehow. I don't understand that. I think being ignorant should be a positive quality, because we're encouraged to do it. So next time I'm called ignorant, I'll go, thank you very much. Thank you so much. You understand me. On the other hand, I do understand, I've met people who would be labelled ignorant, who are just idiots. And I think that's a different thing. I think we use the word ignorant now to mean idiot, when that's not what it means. It's not what it should mean. And maybe I might Google it actually to see what the definition is. But then why bother? Why should you bother Googling things? Because the thing is, you look things up in the dictionary, the OED or any modern dictionary, and the original meaning often has been changed to however it's used now. The definition will be adapted to how people are wrongly using it popularly in the modern world. What's the point in me looking it up? Because it's probably going to say ignorance is exactly what people use the word wrongly for now. There is really no conclusion or point to what I'm saying here. It's just a thought I had. And that's what these videos are going to be about. Just thoughts that I have in the day. And I'm going to talk about it and see if it seems interesting or insightful or intelligent or interesting twice, or funny. But it won't always be that way, of course. Because some things that get on my tits are not funny. Anyway, if you've reached this part of the video, thank you for taking part. Thank you for listening and watching. And you know, if you like any of the thoughts that I have, then like the video. Why not? Thanks very much, and I'll see you later. And finally, be ignorant.